story begins with a man in his late 20s on a train. He reminisces to himself about how terribly things are going in his life. Suddenly, screams are heard from the back of the train as a huge, dark, eerie, mysterious figure approaches. It grabs him by the head and tries to smash his face into the floor compartment. Then he wakes up. Sang Yu is a struggling screenwriter who seems completely stuck in life, with no friends or family to render him support. He is tired, desperate, and constantly haunted by nightmares that seem to take more out of him than they should. He yanks himself out of bed and prepares for the day's work, only to get interrupted by his landlord, who comes banging on his door to pay his rent. Sang Yu quickly gets dressed and slips out of the apartment through the window, climbing down. He walks through the city with exhaustion written all over his face, his mind trapped in the pressure of deadlines, debts, and the constant weight of failure. He walks up to a street food vendor and asks the seller to sell him some pancakes, but without eggs. With the food being prepared, Sang Yu stares across the street and directly into a coffee shop where a very attractive young lady runs her business. Memories from the past flood his head as he remembers when Hua Er, the lady, used to sing in a band. Sang Yu notices the seller adding eggs to his pancakes, and he knows he can't afford it, so he tries to stop him, but the old seller just smiles at him and tells him not to worry about the payment. Grateful, he grabs the food and is about to start eating, but gets interrupted by San Gi, his employer, who is always constantly chasing him about unfinished scripts and deadlines. Sanjay asks him why he has been avoiding his calls, and Sang Yu bolts away, causing Sanjay to chase after him. After running around the city on an empty stomach, Sang Yu's body gives up on him, and Sanjay catches up with him shortly after. He tells Sanjay about the life-threatening nightmares he always gets whenever he closes his eyes, but Sanjay does not believe him. He instead tells him that if he can't sleep, then he should write the scripts he paid him to write, or pay him back the money he deposited. Sang Yu replies that he can't, because he has spent it all on doctors for his condition. Sanjay gets pissed and gives him an ultimatum to either provide the scripts or return his money. Later that day, Sang Yu returns home and finds out that the landlord has moved all his belongings out of his room and locked both the doors and windows. He's devastated and doesn't know what to do. He packs all his stuff with him and heads to a cafe where he sits, trying to write, but every word he types feels meaningless, his ideas collapsing before they even begin. He sits in the cafe with an empty stomach, serving as the major factor contributing to his writer's block, and then shortly falls asleep in frustration. There, in his dream, he goes on with his work in the same cafe, and gets brutally attacked by the same eerie creature that always haunts him. He then wakes up shortly to realize his laptop has been stolen. Sang Yu picks up his phone and sends a goodbye text to San Gi, while he heads to the top of a nearby building, prepared to take his life. He has had enough torture, and simply cannot keep living in a world where he's not only haunted by day, but also at night. At the verge of jumping off, the old man at the assisted pancake shop calls out to him and offers him a free pancake. Sang Yu feels like he finally has something to live for, so he comes down. He punches the pancake like a hungry lion, with tears in his eyes. The old man tells him everyone in life has their difficult moments, and that they're not worth taking one's life over. He asks him what his problem could be, and Sang Yu replies that he keeps getting murdered in his sleep every night, coupled with the pathetic life he's already living. The old man smiles and tells him to simply wake up before he dies. He asks how, and the old man replies that people keep talking about how they'd be better off dead, but still go on living their lives. He then uses that logic to relate to the fact that since talking about death reminds us that we're still alive, he could just tell himself he's dreaming, and maybe, just maybe, he ends up waking up from his nightmares. Later that night, Sang-yu sells his phone and heads to a convenience store to get food to eat. At the store, he thinks for a minute about stealing some more food to keep for later, but just cannot bring himself to. He settles down outside the store to eat, and surprisingly, gets interrupted by Hua Er, who calls out to him and asks if he needs help. Before he can respond, she transforms into the same eerie creature that has been haunting his dreams and starts to attack him. The convenience store staff can see that he's being attacked, but she can't see what is attacking him. The creature stabs him in the chest with a sword, and then he suddenly remembers what the old man told him earlier in the day. He quickly tells himself he's dreaming. As the creature smashes him through the glass of the building, knocking him into some shelves. Checking his body for scars, he gets up and sees that both the monster and his wounds have disappeared. He looks down and gets shocked to see the sword the creature had used to stab him. He picks up the weapon and runs out to the park, where he observes it. The sword is structured like an ancient artifact and can cut through steel with just a little effort. Other than that, it looks like it'd be worth a lot of money. The following morning, he takes it to a local shop to try to sell it. On getting there, he notices how interested the sellers are in the weapon, so he decides not to sell it there. Instead, he takes it to an auction shop, where they stare at him, wondering where on earth he got such an item, but he just tells them to put the fries in the bag. He ends up selling it for 20,000 yuan, which is 10 times more than what the people in the local shop were offering to pay. With that kind of money, he knows his life has changed completely. He heads to a 5-star restaurant and orders an exquisite meal for himself. Next, he heads to a gadget store and purchases a brand new MacBook, then books a room at an expensive hotel where he cleans himself up and changes into new clothes. Later on at night, he takes the usual sleeping pills to force himself into sleep and lies down on his bed. He hears a knock on the door and wonders who the unexpected guest could be. He doesn't see anyone through the peephole, so he decides to go outside to check. The moment he steps out of the room, the door shuts against him, locking him out. He tries to go downstairs to request customer service, but the elevator is out of service. Then, as expected, the eerie creature shows up, this time with a golden axe, and tries to butcher him with it. It successfully lands a clean attack on Sang-yu's chest, but before it can finish the work, he grabs the axe and yells that it's just a dream. He wakes up the following morning with the golden axe right next to him. Excited, he takes it to the auction shop and exchanges it for a huge sum of money. Sang-yu heads to a boutique and buys himself expensive suits, then goes clubbing afterwards. He drinks so much that he falls asleep as soon as he gets back to his room. This time around, he dreams he's in a top-tier museum. Objects of immense value appear: shining gold, ancient relics, priceless artifacts, and so does his usual guest. The creature arrives and starts shooting at him with a machine gun while he tries to escape with some of the artifacts. He eventually gets shot and killed by the creature, so he wakes up panting heavily. Unsatisfied, he takes his sleeping pills and appears in the same spot. After a moment of struggle, he manages to get his hands on some of the artifacts and take them back with him to the real world. The people at the auction shop are suspicious of him, but at the same time are pleased to keep doing business with him. The artifacts made him 2 million yuan that day, The discovery changes everything for Sang Yu. The man who once had nothing now has access to unimaginable riches. He tests the power again and again, each time falling asleep, battling through nightmares, seizing treasures, and waking up with them in his grasp. Gold, diamonds, paintings, jewels. Suddenly, his dingy apartment transforms into a vault of wealth. Just like every successful rapper who made it out of the hood, Sang Yu begins to reinvent himself, buying expensive clothes, moving into luxury hotels, driving fast cars, and living the kind of life he never even dreamed possible. On his way home from the auction shop one day, he runs into San Gel, who doesn't seem quite pleased to see him looking so good. He believes Sang Yu had tried to convince him into thinking he was going to take his life while he ran away with his money. Sang Yu takes him to a fancy restaurant for dinner and pays him back his money in cash. He apologizes for the delay and tells San Gel he can no longer work for him as a writer. San Gei is in disbelief. His voice goes low as he asks Sang Yu to show him the way to be successful, too. The following day, Sang Yu finally decides to confront Hua Er in the coffee shop. To his surprise, she doesn't recognize him. He places an order and settles down like a customer. He notices a banner indicating she would be selling the cafe, so he walks up to her, asking why she wants to sell it. She tells him she's losing customers, and it's really affecting her business due to rent issues. Later that evening, Sang Yu meets up with San Jie over drinks to discuss his feelings for Hua Er, and also her dilemma, and San Jie advises him to make a move. Sang Yu gets so drunk that San Jie drags him back to his suite in the hotel. But as soon as he sleeps off, he tries to steal from him. Unfortunately for him, he gets busted as Sang Yu snaps back into reality with gold in his hands. He is forced to grovel and apologize for what he was going to do. He promises that if Sang Yu forgives him, he'd swear his loyalty to him and work for him forever. The following morning, Sang Yu visits Hua Er with the exact amount of money she was going to be selling the shop for. He offers to buy it from her, but demands that she continue to run the affairs of the shop. They agree to discuss the contract later over dinner, where she asks him why he decided to buy the shop. He firmly answers that he has an interest in coffee, and that he feels she's doing a good job at managing the shop, so he wants her to keep doing her job. He also agrees to split the profits and losses equally, but Hua Er can't seem to shake off the feeling that he has other intentions. That night, Sang Yu dreams that he's in a safe. He fetches bags and fills them with money. The creature comes to stop him again, but this time, he's way more powerful than he used to be. He knocks it over easily and escapes to reality unscathed. San Gei, who now works as his butler and business assistant, is shocked to see that amount of money in real life. Sang Yu visits the coffee shop and sees the joy on Hua Er's face at how well the business has been flourishing. He also finds a way to anonymously deliver a bag of money to the old man across the street, but the man doesn't seem pleased. That night, Sang Yu summons a red Ferrari from his dream and gifts it to Hua Er the following day. Hua Er is charmed, but also cautious, sensing there is something strange about his sudden success. He dreams that he's in a land covered in gold and expensive crystals. The creature reveals its true face, and is revealed to be a Thanos ripoff. More than the mountain of gold around him, Sang Yu seems to be more interested in the golden belt around the now powerless creature's waist. He snatches it from it, and it vanishes completely, but before it disappears, it places an invisible mark on Sang Yu's chest. Sang Yu slowly rises to fame as he starts to build towers all over the world with the sole target of ending poverty. Sang Yu convinces himself that everything is finally falling into place. He promises Hua Er the world and assures her that he'll never leave her side. In only a matter of time, he realizes that with great fortune comes great danger. The repercussions of his wealth start to kick in, starting from the mark the creature put on his chest. Every single injury he sustained in his dreams becomes visible, causing him to panic and start avoiding Hua Er. Like that's not enough. A ruthless gangster named Chang, who operates in the shadows of the city, learns about Sang Yu's sudden wealth and grows suspicious. He abducts Sang Yu, demanding to know where all this treasure comes from, and when Sang Yu tries to deflect, Chong makes it clear that he will kill him if he doesn't cooperate. Sang Yu now finds himself trapped in an actual nightmare. He offers to give Chong 10 million US dollars for his freedom, and Chong tells him to make the call. The moment Sangye arrives with the money, he gets ambushed and taken hostage as well. Chang is still not satisfied. He goes through Sang Yu's phone and discovers he still has a lot of money in his bank account, but what piques his interest more are the messages he keeps getting from the worried Hua Er. He switches things up a notch to see how much Sang Yu would be willing to trade her life for. Sang Yu leads Chang and his men to his suite and promises them everything he has as long as they leave her alone. Hua Er happens to arrive at the hotel at that exact time, in search of Sang Yu, and gets abducted by Chang's men. Sang Yu begs that he'll give them everything they want, and even reveals the source of his wealth. But Chong gets even more upset. One of his men tries to caution him, but he is killed in the process. Sanjay equally causes a diversion, Hua Er, and the badly injured Sang Yu to escape. But he loses his life in the process as well. Despite being stabbed and brutally injured, Sang Yu tries to protect Hua Er from Chang's men, but gets beaten to a pulp and tossed across the room like a ragdoll in a video game glitch. He gets knocked out in the process and visits Wonderland once more, helping him understand everything that has happened up until now even better. He realizes that he has just been bending time and space and creating another world line where the cause of events happening to him was beneficial. He watches from a suspended dimension as Chong tries to kill Hua Er, who is now unconscious, and he loses it. Out of rage, he transforms into the same eerie-looking creature he despised so much and breaks into the physical world through a stone sculpture. He single-handedly takes down Chong and all of his men, but Chong still uses his dying breath to kill Hua Er. The mutated Sang Yu walks over to his own body and unalives himself as well. Everything he has ever acquired from his dreams vanishes afterwards. Everything goes blank for a brief while, and then Sang Yu gets snapped back into consciousness by Hua Er in front of the convenience store. They're back to where it all began, where he got his first artifact, except she's real this time. She invites him over to her house for dinner, where she feeds him and offers him a job to work in her cafe. She also tells him she has come across one of his scripts and that he shouldn't give up on writing. Sang Yu gets emotional and bursts into tears. The following day, she loans him an amount of money and tells him to consider it as an investment in his writing career. He tries to reject it, but she tells him the exact words he had told her in the Otherworld line about splitting the profits and the losses. Later that day, he schedules a meeting with San-Gi and tries to pay up his debt with the money Hua Er loaned him, but San-Gi gives him some surprising news. He has sold some of his old scripts and made a huge profit. Later that day, Sang Yu visits the old man to buy some pancakes, and the man hands him a bag instead. Opening it, he finds out that it's the same bag he had given to him in the Otherworld line. The man tells him it's money he traded his life for, and that he cannot accept it. Song Yu is so puzzled about what is going on. The man then shows him a scar on his belly, and tells him he also once traded his life for money like him, so he knows what he went through, and he's happier now. The end. Thank you for sticking to the end of my video. Please do me the biggest favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video.